I told you. Didn't I tell you? I told you this would happen. And what did I say would happen? Exactly what is happening. Welcome back to the MrShowTym showcast. This is the Trump effect. I heard from the grapevine that Vladimir Putin and Voldemort Zelensky have already begun negotiating a peace treaty as soon as they heard that Trump won his presidential race election, right? This is what happens when daddy comes home. Because when daddy's away, they just left with mommy. They act like a bunch of clowns. They act up they act all out of control. But when daddy comes home, they shape up and they act right. So Vladimir Putin and Zelensky have, begun peace negotiations towards a peace treaty. And of course, with only 2 months out until his presidential reign is over, slow Joe Biden has authorized the Ukraine's military to use US provided long-range missiles to Russia's territory inside Russia, potentially causing catastrophic damage and casualties, loss of lives, in other words. So in other words, before Biden leaves office officially, they want to sabotage and screw Trump over as much as possible, so that they can say, "Oh, look, it's not us, it's him." So because we the good guys, we are willing to help the Trump administration transfer peaceful transfer of power. Forgive me if I mispronounce that, if my grammar is incorrect. We're gonna help Trump's team with a peaceful transition of power. Except it's not a peaceful transition of power if you're willing to hand your former opponent damaged goods. Damaged goods. That's what they wanted to. They want to peacefully transfer to the Trump next incumbent Trump administration. A bunch of damaged goods. That's not really a peaceful transition of power. Because folks, I knew they were up to no good. I knew that they weren't finished when Kamala Harris went up on the podium and she gave her so-called concession speech, her ungraceful concession speech, and she faded off into obscurity, faded off into the darkness from when she came. Okay? Mind the wording, because they're like, hey, we have respect to the US Constitution, because again, we're the good guys. We're not going to challenge the elections now, are we? Unlike Trump's team back in 2020 with the rigged elections back then. So they want to leave looking like the bigger person. And these left-wing mainstream media pundits talking about, the American people just voted in Hitler and they don't know what they just voted for, but they're about to find out. And that's when I know that they're setting up something very bad. They're up to no good. They want to, before they leave, they want to engage in some foul. This is the last act of, smearing the Trump campaign. Which is funny because, one can argue that, hey, it's actually very ingenious, but at the same time, They called Trump Hitler, so why are they now ushering a peaceful transition of power to Hitler? But then again, evil can be very cunning, folks. Mind the wording. Listen to what these mainstream media pundits say, and they'll tell you exactly what their next move is. Now, to the regular average normie, that completely go over your head, and I feel sad for you. But then again, that's what we're here for, to put things in perspective for you. They are gearing up to sabotage Trump in a colossal fashion. I fear, about the Simpsons predictions, an economic recession of epic proportions might still ensue. Because when Trump gets in office, I mean, he already has a lot on his plate that he has to clean up, but they're gonna make it as hazardous as possible. They're gonna spoil the party for him as much as possible. Which brings me to my next point. Trump is surrounded by a bunch of bad company. I mean, look, folks, I know that Tulsi Gabbard and Bobby F. Kennedy, RFK Jr., and Elon Musk, okay, they've now switched sides, and they've had this epiphany and this great awakening. Now they're on the Trump side. Folks, I've said this before in my previous show. The Democrats, okay, their ship has sunk. Now, instead of fulfilling their roles and their agenda with the Democrats, now they're looking to jump ship over to the Trump administration. And they want to fulfill their agendas there. And Trump may or may not see it, I don't know. But it doesn't look good. The more and more I analyze this, the more and more I realize that Trump is not surrounded by good company. Hence the saying, a leopard never changes its spots. Keep that in mind, and I hope I'm wrong. Marjorie Taylor Greene put up this tweet that I'm not really a fan of, okay? Do you support Tulsi Gabbard as, now the picture is this continuous push for female strength, the tough cookie. Women are not supposed to be tough. I don't like men with vaginas, okay? And look at Tulsi Gabbard in this picture. She looks like a dude with a vagina, basically. The tough cookie. No, I mean, look, Tulsi Gabbard, I mean, she's beautiful. She's fairly attractive, okay? Especially during the Democratic primary when she, wiped the floor with Kakamala, okay? But, she's aged since then, but she's still relatively, somewhat, kind of attractive. But I'm not a fan of this push because, look, just because now you're on our side, you're playing our side, okay? It doesn't mean that now I'm just gonna say yes to everything that you do. No. I'm still gonna pay attention. I'm still gonna be mindful of the psyops and this continuous push for a strong female. No. No, no, no. The patriarchy stands. And stand the patriarchy shall.
Hey, look, they gave me 5 minutes to say a few things, so if I offend anybody tonight, I don't give a shit. How many pounds of fentanyl didn't make in this country to kill Americans? How many known suspected terrorists didn't make it in the country? How many billions of dollars did the cartels make? President Trump is one badass president. He secured the border at a level we've never seen before. And I got a message to the millions of illegal aliens that have been released into the United States under this administration. Don't get too comfortable. We're going to need some help. Do I have any volunteers that want to come back and help run the biggest deportation operation in the history of this nation? In January of 25, the greatest president of my lifetime walking back in the White House. He tells me we got, I say 120 days. He says, no, you got 60 to lock the border down. Well, I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what I told the president. He comes back. I come back, we fix this shit.
Men are strong.